Phil Mitchell's a man we talk about a lot on this channel. I had a segue and I lost it immediately. But Phil Mitchell, he is a love machine, isn't he, Ash? Has countless wives, had countless exes, has multiple children somehow still, despite being in his 60s. He's just, no one can stop him. And Smithy1619 poses the question, 619 by the way, Phil Mitchell's next relationship theory. So this is a theory, please don't take this as fact. Imagine you're watching the game theory on YouTube. Probably most of you don't even remember that. Watching EastEnders, and I can't help but think that Phil Mitchell is due an affair or a new relationship. I don't mean
he's setting the ground early. They are just in case, you know.
And I don't mean with Cat Slater, Mo, or even Cindy. I'm talking with Nigel's wife, Julie. I see a bit of chemistry between them. Yes, I know they didn't get off to a good start, but since Ashes moved in to help with Nigel, I'm seeing it more, especially with the bacon peace offering. What's your favourite? What's your thoughts? Obviously, this was before David Peckham moved into the house and stuff, but I will just quickly go through why this is both good and bad. Firstly, Julie's kind of in denial because this might sound very dark, but with dementia patients, you more have to look towards the end than the past. It sounds bad, but you kind of early on you have to admit, yeah, that's not my husband I see there. That's my husband, but the lights aren't home. The lights aren't on, I should say. And the lights aren't on. I don't know.
Lights are on, nobody's home.
Yeah, essentially, yeah, that's basically it. And then you have Phil, who's basically been there for the past 10, 9, 8 months. He's basically seen everything. He's seen his ups, he's seen his downs, he's seen everything in between. And he understands, look, Nigel is my mate. I don't think he has long left. I'm going to be honest, Julie, you should start thinking for the worst. And obviously, Julie...
Buckle down, right, I will.
Leave the house to me, please, Julie. And you have Julie, who's still trying to get him more active. He's doing Pilates. He's doing a 10K. I know he's not doing a 10K run. And this is
she wants him to do them.
Yeah, and I know this joke is going to go over everybody's head, but I'm still going to make it. Piggy classic. And she wants him to build 150 wells in Africa. That is a mini lad joke that no one is going to get. And it's like, no, you just can't expect this from Nigel anymore. He's not, I don't want to say as prospering young chap anymore. He's just a bit older, a bit more...
Well, he's getting worse. He's progressively getting worse is the whole point of this. He's progressively getting worse. Phil is on the side of, okay, we are a realist. This is happening. I'm not being pessimistic. This is just happening. Whilst Julie's like, I can fix him. You know, the reason he's doing worse is because he hasn't spent time with me. But it's also the whole thing where she's essentially playing catch up to the fact where Phil's been caring for him for the last 8 months, but Julie has only just noticed and seen, hey, shit, he's got dementia. So it's basically like Phil's had 8 months of getting used to it. Julie's had 2 seconds, and it's already worse than it was when he initially came onto the square. So it's kind of the alarming factor that now she has to tackle with the fact that now she has to care for a man who some days won't even know, won't even remember her existence. So it's a pretty bitter pill. But it's just kind of the unfortunate fact with this thing where, its time isn't necessarily very kind to people with dementia.
No. But the only positive with dementia is if they have an affair, they never have to tell Nigel because he'll forget. So I'm just saying, lads, if an affair is possible, he doesn't have to know. It's not gonna hurt him. That was a joke that I tried to make, and I got no approval, so I will take it.
None of your jokes really do.
Yeah, I know. I just expected out, ha, or an out.
I just sit here. I just sit here like the opposite what Steve Harvey does. Just sit and just go.
Yeah, Steve Harvey though. Him with the green M&M is always scary. But what I want to say is, yeah, he's getting worse, and I don't think there'll be a spark between Julie and Phil, because it's kind of like using a car battery to like work your kettle. You know, it's not. They're two different people. It's not going to work. It's just not.
EastEnders pre-Watershed. I don't think we're seeing any angry hate sex. I won't lie. I
Yeah,
don't think any angry hate sex is on the menu. We're not getting a 9:15 of angry hate sex with Phil and Julie. We're not getting a spin-off. It's not happening. It's not. It will be weird. It'll be too straight because the whole. I get the idea of chalk and cheese are two completely separate people. And I get even the idea where sometimes in these situations where someone is dying, they do tend to kind of lean on the side of, yeah, but I want you to be happy when I'm gone. And I don't necessarily think that's going to be Nigel, rolling out the red carpet for his wife of 30 odd years to get with his best mate. I don't think that's necessarily happening. I won't lie. But I like the theory. I don't know what I don't think the chemistry is what you really want. If we're saying, I guess a fair would work, kind of like the Sharon and Keanu, like, yeah, fucking come here. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't even know where Phil, because I want to see what Phil does in his next relationship now that he's at least started talking about his feelings. Well, I think that's more interesting now that Phil is no longer. He's not going to be great about it. He's still not good at telling people how he feels, but he's getting better and he's working on it. So I want to see what that is. With Julie, no, absolutely not. That sounds horrendous. That sounds mismatched as ever. Like I said, Phil's making Tortilla Tuesday. Julie's making, roasted shrimp. I don't know what food Julie makes. Just some weird shit.
cucumber guacamole Tuesday is what she's doing.
But like I don't know. Like, see, the weird thing with Phil is they want to have him go in the circles that they always do, where him and Sharon are going to inevitably get back together in the most loveless, sexless, dead and Angie marriage I've seen in my life. Or, do they go for? Do they weirdly cross the line between sponsored? Do they put him and Linda together? It's still also the issue is it just sounds weird. Like I like Linda and Phil's dynamic. They do work together as friends, but like, do you really add that little bit of sneaky sauce on top? Don't know what sneaky sauce is. Don't know where that went. But I don't know. Like, do you slip that in there? Do you add a bit of spice to it? Like, I don't, because I want to see Phil. I want to see Phil move on and get into a relationship. His relationship with Kat was pretty fucking good. I prefer it to Kat and Alfie. I prefer it to Phil and Sharon. But I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. But it's just like the 6th video we've recorded in a row. I've had enough.
Sorry, it's just I need that clip out of context of do I slip it in? Because it has broke me. Ash has learned sex for the first time. It'd be like sneaking a cucumber onto a battlefield full of dildos. But yeah, as I was saying, I don't think this would. I don't know what I want from Phil's relationship.
I don't even know why we did this video, but it's fun. It's happening. It's happening. We can just talk more about it. Obviously, the one thing we can expect from the thread is people saying, "Oh, no more affairs." London's just affair simulator, and I'm gonna have to defend the use of affairs in soap again, and I can't be bothered. But like, I don't even know. Like, in my brain, I don't know why I'm gone like full like like camp counselor. To me, so campers, what I say is I just think the next end goal for Phil is just Shirley. I know that Shirley's not coming back anytime soon, and I did milk that content for as much views as humanly possible. But and the short popped off as well, 50p. I do think that they're at the right points in life where they've lost so much that they just need someone to exist with till they die. And it sounds really bleak, but isn't that just how relationships work in the twilight of your life? You're not looking for fireworks and great sex. You're just looking for a companion to just end the days with. You don't want a dog, you don't need a dog, but you just want something to grow old with. And I think in this weird, ridiculous scenario, I think that is Phil and Shirley.
Please look at the photo I sent you. I I was paying attention, but I got distracted. I was asking me, please go. I want to see Steve McFadden as Aladdin. He's the genie. Please tell me he's the genie. Oh, why? Oh, why? What's your wish?
Christ.
Can Grant be the fucking main character?
It's weird. It's weird to see him smile.
Yeah, just like the problem is, right, and I know I've derailed this, but you look at him, he doesn't look like he'd hurt a fly. And then you can look at him in EastEnders, and it looks like he hits flies daily. Like, you just look at this fella here, he looks too happy.
I like how you say hitting flies as if it's something really brutal. Yeah, and I bet you hit flies, you bitch. Like, oh, I'm sorry. The nuisance is, I bet he's got one of those electric rackets where he just starts sparking that fucker up. Lights a cigar on it as well.
I always thought they'd be fun to use on your balls, honestly. Just to see what happens.
Don't know what you want me to do with that. What am I going to go? Nice idea. Let's note that one down. All right, back on track though. Let's just do this final bit. Shirley and Phil, to me, I think it's the next direction. I know that it's kind of been told that Shirley's probably not coming back anytime soon, and you probably are saving Shirley's return for a bigger return. Like, you either have to bring back Mick or you bring back Carly, and you bring back some of like Kevin Wicks's original family, or you bring back Buster, something like this. But I think like the weird bit with Phil and Shirley is Shirley didn't have Phil at a good time in his life. Shirley had Phil when he was drinking. Crack Phil, wasn't that funny? He smoked crack that one time in a video game. Isn't that funny? He smoked crack. Drugs. And then they go to get married, but in the end they just say, we'll just play it by ear. And then obviously Heather happened, and then they kind of split for good because he covered up the death of a best friend. But I think they're both at a different time in life. Phil's got his shit together. Shirley probably doesn't have his shit together. Probably isn't the best person to pit with an alcoholic, considering she drinks. She's seemingly a functional alcoholic. Let's be honest. But I think at both that times in their lives, they've lost a lot of people, and they just want to exist, and they just want to have someone to go through it with. I do think Shirley probably is the right person for this. It's a weird bit with Sharon, where they never really want to have Sharon properly settled down, because they just don't know how to write Sharon at this point in time. And I remember we did a whole bit of content about it, and people seem to resonate with it. But fundamentally, you need to have Phil start to settle down, and you kind of want to establish whoever Phil's next relationship is with probably is for the long run. Because you can't really have him like getting married again at the age of like 68 or so, whatever. I don't know how old he is, but like you can't really keep him be womanizing at this age. You need to settle him down. You need to slow him down like you have so far. And from that point, you just kind of move it ahead and see, what comes next. So yeah, it's just time to buckle down, time to get Phil in his favorite armchair and just slowly turn him into more of an old man as you kind of turn him from kind of leading man Phil Mitchell is, let's be honest, the mental health storyline, it's probably one of his last like huge storylines.
Yeah.
obviously he's not going to fully wind down. He's always going to be a big name and a big character. But like, we're probably going away from the crime stuff now. We're probably settling more into Phil's family life and just his stuff with Nigel. I don't necessarily think we're going to have like 10 more ball busting years of Phil Mitchell. We're probably going to get like a good 2 or 3, and then he just settles into being the grand patriarch of the Mitchells.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to add, but the fact that he's going to be Aladdin this year. So where do you see Phil's love life? Do you wish he was a genie in the bottle? Let us know down below. We'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Bye bye.